All right. Forgive me, but even if you don't, here we are, part two. Okay, so the evil Haman intended for Mordecai and the Jewish people literally flipped itself around onto the issuer, Haman. What he intended for Mordecai and the Jewish people, that came back around on him. As we know, God is wont to do often, teach people how to act right. Now, oh, did I just put it to sleep? Wake up. Wake up. Thank you. So, like I said, things escalated quickly based off of what some other people decided they was going to come up with, right? Okay. Esther 6, 13 and 14. And Haman and Zeresh his wife, and all his friends, everything had befallen him. Then said his wise men and Zeresh his wife unto him, If Mordecai be of the seed of the Jews, before whom thou hast begun to fall, thou shalt not prevail against him, but shalt surely fall before him. And while they were yet talking with him, came the king's chamberlains, and hastened to bring Haman unto the banquet that Esther had prepared. Esther 7, 5 and 6. Then the king Ahasuerus answered and said unto Esther the queen, Who is he and where is he, that durst presume in his heart to do so? And Esther said, The adversary and enemy is the wicked Haman. Then Haman was afraid before the king and queen. Esther 7, 9 and 10. And Harbona, I don't care if I'm not saying that right, one of the chamberlains, said before the king, Behold also the gallows 50 cubits high, which Haman had made for Mordecai, who had spoken good for the king, standeth in the house of Haman. Then the king said, Hang him thereon. So they hanged Haman on the gallows that he had prepared for Mordecai. Then was the king's wrath pacified. And there's another classic example of let God decide who gets the eye for the eye and what the eye is. Get the mote out of your own eye. I suggest you get Jesus to help you do that. And when you do, don't go looking for more motes. Secret. Don't go looking for more motes. Just ask him to remove every one of them from then on. It works, believe it or not. So then we have Esther 8, 7 and 8. Then the king Ahasuerus said unto Esther the queen, and to Mordecai the Jew, Behold, I have given Esther the house of Haman, and him will they have hanged upon the gallows, because he laid his hand upon the Jews. Write ye also for the Jews, as it liketh you, in the king's name, and seal it with the king's ring. For the writing which is written in the king's name, and sealed with the king's ring, may no man reverse. And this is where it gets good. So Esther simply brought to the king's attention that he felt for her and that they were a part of her, talking about the Jews, that what was being done wasn't right and wasn't good. And at first she used the fact that he loved her. He, they had just got married, right? But she originally kind of used that to tug on his heartstrings to get him to realize it wasn't right. We're not going to touch that right now, but trust me, I can go into all kinds of reasons why that's still manipulation and it's still not okay. Then King Ahasuerus, knew they were his people now too, and so he loved them too. Now you'll see, this is how we should all see everything, faction and nation of peoples in life. At least we can see what happened before and why it'll happen again. Yes, God does repeats. God intends to save the Jewish people from his own wrath after they get right in their heart posture. I've learned one very important thing about Yahweh. I've learned a lot of things, but he repeatedly shows and tells us how to act, why and how everything affects everything. And we seem to ignore what we can't turn into utilization for our own personal designed plans. History repeats itself only until someone says, that's enough, and alters the course for everyone by disavowing a no longer serving. What no longer serves. You should consider asking yourself, who's making the plans? Who's truly served in the planning? And who is funding the fulfillment of the plans? I don't mean funding with money, people. I mean, who's really putting the energy in it and everything that's required to make it all to come together, to make it all work. I bet it's not you. Matter of fact, I guarantee it's not you at 5:55 on the clock. My advice, if it's not God, quit. Turn back and pray. I've been trying to find the purpose God had to bringing this story, this particular part of the story in the book of Esther of the Holy Bible to me. It was really bothering me for days. And he explained to me just now. Now, this is last night. I got a phone call, yesterday. I got a phone call from someone who decided to apologize. And I know the Lord led him to do it. The point isn't that. The point is that the person I'm referring to sought the Lord's guidance and way in the matter. And he obeyed God. And then turned around and started disrespecting me again. I'm not even going to honor him by calling him out. He don't get honorable mention no more. And I'm accepting of the apology. But that will be all that I will be allowing. See? Like I said. And then turned around and did the same disrespectful shit. God showed me what he can do in the opposite of what has been done. In other words, it's not God's way. Okay? It's not God's way to choose war, killing, destruction, suffering, demise. It's actually not his way. That's not what he prefers to do. His way is love. I'll tell you the truth. God would bless you into acting right if you'd receive it. And that's our problem. We spend so much time, God spoil us, God bless us, God do it for us, while we're trying to walk backwards on the damn treadmill. Full speed ahead, but we're trying to walk backwards. God save us. God, do it for us. Solve all our problems. We want it our way, though. And then even those of us that can get past wanting it our way, we still can't get past wanting. Which, by the way, guys, that's a failure on the top 10. That's coveting. I have to tell myself that every day. So now, I'm going to tell you too. Drop below in the comments what y'all think. Love y'all. God bless you.